Hey everybody, it's Megan. Welcome again to Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey. As always, I shall link her channel down below. For this week's Top 5 Wednesday topic, it is your top 5 favorite books with multiple points of view, and you are supposed to try to find ones really that had more than two perspectives. Coming in at number 5, we have The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. There isn't too much perspective change throughout the book. It more or less briefly goes and switches to the perspectives of the other characters. It's primarily told through herself, Ava Lavender, from an older age, going back in time and telling the stories of herself as well as her grandmother and her mother and their stories of life and love. And yeah, so when it did switch to perspectives, it was either to the women in her life or the villain. And I don't quite want to reveal who he is at this time, but let me say that when it did switch to his perspective, it got really creepy. I read this a few months ago, so I don't completely remember all the perspectives that it switched from, but I did like when it happened because it added more dimensionality. And it really, towards the end, as it kept switching perspectives, it really built up the plot and the suspense and caused me to speed read it right to the end, just gobble it up. Coming in at number 4, we have Falling into Place by Amy Zhang. This is a story about a girl who is depressed and wants to commit suicide. She's very good at math, and so she calculates how it's going to be that she drives her Mercedes, I think it is, over a cliff. And she wants to calculate how it will, she'll be doing it herself on purpose, but it will look like an accident and they will never suspect that it was suicide. This book was amazing from beginning to end. I was enraptured, and the perspectives, it switched off between her and this guy that is in love with her and pretty much saves her life, though she doesn't know it. But in the book, she has already caused the car accident and she's in ICU, and it is completely at this point up to her if she wants to pull through and live. It's sort of like If I Stay, but a bit different. Coming in at number 3, we have a book that I just recently finished listening to on audiobook this month, and it is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This book was so good, but I'm going to talk about it more in my June wrap-up. But anyway, so there's this girl, Kelsey, who is going to be the queen of the Tearling, and she has been staying sort of Sleeping Beauty style with her guardians, Carlin and Barty. Carlin and Barty. I just wanted to say it English accent. And so the Queen's Guard shows up and they take her on the journey to the kingdom where she is crowned. There's a lot of drama going on behind the scenes. Kelsey's in a lot of danger, and it's made evident by the perspective changes between her primarily, and then it goes to the perspective of this guy. I don't want to give too much away. But this guy who is sort of plotting to kill her, and the main nemesis of the Tearling, that is the Red Queen. This lady is pure evil, or so I thought for like the first half, 3/4 of the book. But in switching to her perspectives, you see it's not completely black and white. She is under political pressure too from another evil. It's really complex. There's a lot of world building, but it really helps to have that perspective shift because it's a lot like Ava Lavender. It helps to bring up the tension, but it also gives us some backstory so that while Kelsey may not understand why certain events are happening, we do. And so it builds up a profound sense of dramatic irony. And coming in at number 2, we have Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This I recently talked about in my May wrap-up because that's when I read it. It was awesome. And it is about these two guys who are best friends in college, and they're writing a sort of thesis, and it's about extraordinary people, so people with superpower kind of capabilities. And so they're experimenting to see if they can turn themselves into extraordinary people with a certain power. And it happens, and they get in trouble. Comes too much for them to handle. And so fast forward to 10 years, and one of them has just gotten out of prison that the other one managed to land him into. And yeah, this is intense, truly. And it doesn't just go back and forth from the perspective of the two guys, Victor and Eli. It also goes with Victor's sort of partner in crime, Mitch, another person on their sort of team, Sydney, a young girl. It's from her perspective as well. Sydney's older sister, Serena, also has a perspective here. It's really great how the Ishwab is able to smoothly transition from one character to the other in a way to, again, build suspense and make us see from all cylinders how things are going to be. And when you know what's going to happen, you really don't know what the end result is going to be when you know what the character intends. And coming in at the #1 spot is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This is one of my favorite books of 2015 so far, and it is about these twins, Jude and Noah, as they go through life, and at the point that the story begins, they don't like each other. And so it goes back and forth, not only between perspectives, but in time periods as well, to back when they were young kids, like around 13, up till the present when they are around 16, just gradually explaining what happens in their lives that causes things to happen. Primarily, their mother dies, and so that puts a big void in their lives, and other things that happen after that just lead them to the point where they are when the story begins. And it's pretty heartbreaking at times, but it's also really funny, and it's just beautiful too. You watch them come alive again, and a lot of things are revealed. They find closure. It's a really all-around great story. Alrighty guys, that is it. That's my 5 picks for multiple POV books. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favorites are. I actually had a harder time figuring out this list than I thought. I don't read as many multiple POV books as I would have initially thought. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great week, and I shall see you soon with another video. Bye everyone.